And we're off. This is a Kansian seed. I'm quitting. And our first chest reveals a piece of art. And we're going to head on back. We have Solski wearing his usual eggplant seed on the right. And it looks like, is that Shantae on the left? It does appear so. Both of these are new sprites added to version 30 of the randomizer, released just over a month ago. Alright, we're dropping in and we're going to find our Uncle Assured sword. And there's 20 rupees from the Vanilla Lantern chest. We'll grab our magic refills. As JTB gets, and Solski both get that really early 8-bomb drop. Alright, we'll head through those guards, trying to get our way through. Solski getting bullied around by that green guard just a little bit, putting him just a few frames behind on this escape sequence. Both runners choosing to go left. I did see the other night a race where we did get to see the right side of Hyrule Castle. Not something you do not see often. Alright, and we'll take a spin strat to take down this blue guard and get an early power glove. It's so bad. Yes, to answer chat's question, was just a little bit of love in Uncle's chest. As we will head over back towards Zelda's cell, seeing what's been hanging out with her, and take care of that easy ball and chain guard, that first real boss of the game. And the nice thing of the fighter's sword is the poke from the poke does do the spin's damage. It's the only sword that happened. Picking up our key, and we're moving from the chest, and we're moving on. Alright, we'll head down. It looks like JTB is just going to go straight in for the spin strats. The sword strats, not a bad call. You will see some runners go to second pot, but with that fighter sword, you'll just push him against the wall and take him down. Picking up our big key from the guard, finding the small key for the escape, and we head on with Princess Zelda. And we're going to head back up toward the back of the escape sequence into the dark sewers. As this is standard mode, we get a free light cone for the escape sequence for the entirety of the game. So if they drop back in with without the lamp, they're still going to get that light cone so they can see through the dark, as the randomizer never will force you to go through a dark room under the standard no glitchers category. There are glitch categories which can require you to know how to do all kinds of clips and all kinds of craziness. And the answer question is, chat, yes, this is Shantae versus Eggplant. Alright, and we're going to head back into the sewers. I have to agree, the Eggplant is one of the more fun sprites we've seen added with version 30 of the randomizer. There were over 50 sprites either added and or changed with version 30's release. And JTB decided to go through the ropes. As we already have our 8-bomb drop, I don't see any of our runners stopping to kill any more unnecessary enemies. And the Dark Chest is holding on to our Moon Pearl. We are getting very close to getting some Dark World access, only needing another glove or the hammer, and we are on our way into the Dark World. And we're picking up the real boss of the the randomizer escape sequence, the Key Rat. With that sword, we're not going to have much of a problem with that, because we're going to open up our bones and check those 3 chests at the back of Escape. 10 arrows, 3 bombs, and the map, setting us up to make sure we have everything we need to get through Kakariko Village. And I am now joined by my new co-commentator, Wolfling0370. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing pretty good. So we got all dungeons, standard, Uncle Assured, and normal, judging from that.
Yep, you can see all those icons on the top of the screen. We'll tell you that. The in chat, we posted the link to explains everything.
Yeah, I just spent like the last 3 minutes setting up here, and we have a Master Sword as well.
Excellent, finishing our escape sequence with 2 swords, Moon Pearl gloves. Find us an early lamp. We could see an Aga 1 play.
Or the hammer will just give us Darkhold access, and that sword will be very useful.
One or the other. Both of these are very interesting possibility. All right, so Wolflink, what are you hoping to see from this rather vanilla option seed for this tournament?
I'm not expecting much considering I was last minute, but let's make this a little interesting here. Let's have it be let's have Aga 1 be forced to be earlier rather than later. I don't know how, but just make it so that you don't have the Aga 2, Aga 1 combo that you would ideally want in all dungeons.
Yep, absolutely. As Solski picks up the heart container in the Lost Woods, and we're going to drain the dam on JTB's side. Just a little love under the water there, and the mushroom spot will be holding... I guess I missed that check.
I did too.
Well, it must not have been that important.
Yeah, I'm just settling in here, so I'm gonna miss a little bit.
That's right. Well, I definitely appreciate you jumping in to help me out.
No problem.
We're gonna go through the mini Moldorm cave, which shouldn't be much issues. Those Master Sword will take him down in one swing.
There's our map check, and it looks like we have 3 crystals in the light world.
Did you see any 5/6s?
I think maybe Eastern, but I wasn't too sure. We got a heart container at least in the mini Moldorm, though.
I missed it on the restream. No, we have the 5/6 in Eastern, yes.
I guess my eye is sharper than I thought. Blue mail for the eggplant.
Gotta make sure those eggplants are nice and tough as JTB is heading over to the early Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, this is actually a really great location to go to in Inverted. Not just because of the item here, but also with the inverted logic, you can mirror and check the hint that's actually here in the Dark World.
Yeah,
this is normal, of course, so it's kind of out of the way.
And it's always an interesting location. It's a place that you would not often look toward before the inclusion of the hint tiles in the version 30.
Yeah.
All right, and that long walk will yield for us today the silver arrows.
Not bad.
Definitely will not complain.
And the well gives us a tempered sword. Oof. I might spell Aga here. It depends on that lamp.
Well. We have all the swords.
And the uh-oh. Okay. I'm starting to see something here, and I hope it's not the case, but there is an off chance that our hammer is in Dark World.
Just interesting, but it does give us access to most of the light world, or the Dark World, with those Titans mitts, and there's a mirror.
Wow. Yeah, they're just handing us everything we need for Dark World access here. It's not a convenient one, though, as right now we don't have access to East Death Mountain, or, no, East Dark World, rather, sorry. Because we don't have the flippers or the hammer to reach Palace of Darkness. That might force Aga early, like I said earlier. Or something else that can force Aga early right now is a hammer at Pyramid Fairy. And we have the flute on the library.
Well, we are definitely going to be looking for those boots sooner rather than later as we get a Dark World map check, as Palace of Darkness is our other 5/6 crystal.
Okay, well, the Pyramid Fairy thing's out the window immediately, because you can't have a Hammerlock dungeon require...
See if I can catch it on the restream there. It looks like we have all pendants on the south side of Dark World, with Mire being red, Swamp being green, and Ice Palace being blue.
The ice blue pendant and Ice Palace. How fitting. Of course, this is all dungeons, which means we have to do all of them anyway. And both Agas.
Now, where this does lay interesting is if it keeps just giving these runners everything, there's so much open to them, you can end up seeing a jet seed or just seeing where there's one item left and we just gotta figure out which half of the map it's hiding on.
Yeah.
And I think right now, as far as hype goes, I'd say the flute being a pedestal or pyramid fairy item would prove most interesting.
Well, Hammer can't be a Pyramid Fairy because Palace of Darkness is a 5/6. Which means the dungeon is Hammerlock, which means you can't have Hammer at Pyramid Fairy. What we can have, though, is required Aga because our Flippers and Hammer are both over on the Palace of Darkness area.
We will see what happens. As we have Solski heading through more of Thieves Town and not finding a whole lot yet. He has picked up that small key, which means there's potential for that something to be in that hammer as we get that very awesome bunny sprite for the eggplant. Gotta love those emoji jokes. Keeping it fresh. There's a nice 300 rupees for JTV in the back of the Thieves' Hut.
Yeah, a lot of good money here in this opening part of the seed.
Yeah, you have to say that this seed is really giving in the beginning. I mean, Tempered, Sword, Moon Pearl, Titan's Mitts, Mirror.
I mean, Zor is in Logic right now, with the right out of the gate.
There are very few things that aren't available to us.
The only thing is, no one really wants to walk all the way over to Zora King. You want to take the waterway shortcuts, really. Ooh, but there's our 4th sword there. So it's behind the bomb.
And I do not see our runners going out of their way to grab that sword, what they already have Tempered in their possession.
Well, it can make the Trinex fight easier, but that's about it. You really do not need Gold Sword when you already have Tempered.
Yeah, and Tempered is... Yeah,
hearts.
Yeah, the jump between Master and Tempered is probably one of the largest damage increases in the game, aside from the difference between the regular and silver arrows.
Yeah. Silver arrows doing pretty much an instant kill on everything except for the most beefiest of bosses, that being Vitreous and Ganon himself.
Alright, we have JTB working their way through Skull Woods.
Yeah, so both runners taking different paths here. I like the Thieves Town play a little bit better because I have been burned by a Skullwoods dive just to find the Fire Rod in the Thieves Town area.
Well, it's definitely the more item-dense location. There's only 2 items in Skullwoods, but there's 4 available in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and Thieves Town by comparison is a longer dungeon, and you really don't want to risk that last item in case it's in the big chest.
Well, there's a potential that that item could be in the big chest. I have not was not counting items to see if they had found the map quite yet. But we do have hold of that. We do have hold of that small key, so that chest is in Logic.
Yep. Interestingly enough, the small key is in the big chest. These sounds considered hammerlocked for any sort of 5/6 crystal logic. Because you can do some silly things with the key.
I don't know, do you think the ice rod is cool?
I don't think that pun is necessarily good, but yes.
Alright, Solski just losing a little bit of control of the script, but shouldn't give him too much hassle. It's got blue mail and plenty of hearts.
Yes, and we're talking about a script here for blind here is because if you hit him in the first chance you get every single time, same fight. It will not change. It makes it pretty easy to do as a result. The trick is, of course, keeping on that script. It's one of those things that is simple in concept, difficult to execute. But well done by Solski. Good backup.
Alright, and that's our first crystal 15 minutes in.
Single Ruby and Sea House. Oh well.
That's what you get for pillaging somebody's savings.
So, I didn't have time to look here. What is the records on these two right now in terms of the matches between them?
Alright, so GTB is overall 2-2, Solski is overall 2-3, and this is the third game between them, with each of them having a victory.
Ah, okay, so this is essentially a tiebreaker in their group. Of course, it doesn't really matter because the top two of each group advance. But it's kind of interesting that the third party decided to give us a very, very basic seed here.
Oh, absolutely. Now, being that this is the third match between them, it is chosen. The seed requirements are chosen by a random bot, with each player able to veto a certain setting.
Yes. Which means if you wanted to, you could veto defeat Ganon and have it guaranteed all dungeons.
Or you could guarantee that you have a sword.
Yes. Of course, you can also opt to... Well, there's the single 100 rupee stash in the game. That's out of the unique item pool. You can also opt to veto normal, so you're forced to play it hard. Which...
Yes, the normal and hard are the only difficulties available in the group stage. When we get to brackets, the extreme difficulty will be unlocked. Or expert, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's a dinner plate for JTB as Solski goes and checks the dig game, but first he's going to take a peek at the race game.
Race game only 20 rupees?
So I guess Wolf Link, if you were to veto, if you were going to be in this random's position, what would you choose to veto?
I would veto hard, actually. I'm okay with any of the variations.
I would probably have to go the same route. Or probably swordless, because swords.
Yeah, I would agree to swordless as well. That's not my cup of tea either. But I'm learning. And we get a bottle for quite a lot of digs. So, pretty slow, but at the same time, that's another item we can check because of Sick Kid.
It definitely opens up some safeties, though, with this being a normal and standard all dungeon seed. I don't think they're going to be too hard up on safety. Alright, we grab Jeremiah Solski Mirror Bonks.
Nice movement through the hellway there for JTB. Only getting tagged by one of the gas enemies. I really need to remember these names. I only have a couple I need to remember still. And that's one of them.
Got that down somewhere.
There's like a database I can look at. Actually, while we're waiting to see what the blacksmith gives us, I'll go ahead and pull that up.
I'm already ahead of you. And that is a Gibo. G-I-B-O.
Oh yeah, Gibo. That sounds about right.
We got Gibos, we got Gibdos, maps in Thieves Town, and 20 rupees from the Smiths.
Yeah, the other enemy I don't know is the Antlion, which is apparently called Devalant. Yeah, I just have to remember those names.
Or Devalant, or is it Devil Ant?
It's V-E-L, so Devil, I think is what it's saying. I'm not sure, or to be honest. There's only the word, it's not the pronunciation.
Alright, and that's 5 rupees from the Sick Kid.
I mean, some of the enemy names are just weird. The Pokies that we like to call them are Hokuboku. And I don't even have the guide up anymore. I closed that.
All the interesting item names with all these like Moldorms, Stelphos. Then we have Hard Hat Beetle.
Yeah.
Then Zigzags here in this room.
Yeah.
And just 10 arrows in K45 for Solski, as JTB is going to challenge Blind.
But the change that's called chain jumps. That one is easy.
I was going with Bark Balls myself. And a quick and easy fight for JTB.
Yep. Tying up the game now, 1 crystal apiece.
And Solski, yep.
Solski's got a bit of a lead here, and we'll see what this purple chest turn-in is. We're also going to see what is in Hype Cave here. I think this is what Solski's planning. Yes, it is.
All right, and let's see how well it holds up to its name.
Legacy reputation. That's what I always say.
He accidentally leaves a bomb trying to leave the chest behind. First, we got some booms.
Got some return on his investment. The ice rod is there. All right. Our container as well. And the boots. Okay, I'd say that's a 7.
Yeah, solid 7 there with those boots. Unlocking the flute in the library.
And not to mention the most trolly item in the game, the ice rod.
Have to get that very elusive item off the pool. Definitely has to bring a lot of ease to your mind if you're one of these runners.
Yeah, I would expect the saving point after checking purple chest here from Solski to go check King's Tomb, Bonk Rocks, and then turn in the flute.
Realizing he'd already been to the swamp dam, or just trying to better set up his portal.
I don't think he's actually been over this way. No.
You're right, he hasn't. Well, you definitely have to be careful. The purple chest is definitely one of the more fickle followers in the game.
Yes. Thankfully, Solski is fine because he set the portal far back enough and can use a bomb. And if you're holding something over your head, you actually don't warp. So it's a good way to get around your portals that you placed in choke points.
Interesting little mechanic. And our lunchbox is holding on to 50 bucks.
Was that what was in the lunchbox, though, or is that what he paid for to get his lunch back?
Difficult to say.
Well, we'll never know. So Solski's going to take advantage of his positioning here and go ahead and check Mini Molder Cave as well.
And JTB's going to turn in his smiths.
Yeah, we know there's nothing good here, but there is something good over at Ice Rod Cave, which is, of course, our silver arrows. Nice bomb throw there.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see the seed giving us so many of these very elusive items so quickly, that being the Ice Rod and silver arrows.
Someone's saying a 10 out of 10 high cave would be reserved for someone in go mode. I'd say 5 different progression items is also valid for a 10 out of 10 hype cave.
I would 100% agree on that one. Alright, JTP gonna go ahead and bring that chest along, and they'll check the mirror locked locations along the way.
Gonna get the silver arrows here now for Solski.
And I have to imagine the east. He maybe heads toward Eastern, or perhaps looks at Skullwoods. He's walking back out. Maybe we're setting up for some fake flipper action.
I mean, he can do with the fake flippers. He can check everything except for the item on Zora Ledge. Well, he can eye check it, but he can't get it. I should probably clarify that.
It looks like he did set up the water walk.
So gonna start with Zora. Oh no, making a liar army, checking the island. Only 3 bombs. Now it's Zora. So I think Solski has to be careful here, because if Solski gets a heart container, that will reset his fake liver, I think.
An interesting choice to throw the bottle into the fountain just to see what he gets for the free refill.
Red potion. Not bad.
Yeah, in there. And there's the cane.
And the lamp. So our lamp is flippers locked.
Interesting bit of logic there.
So unless I think that kills Zaga outright.
At least for progression-wise.
Well, that would mean that the flippers are still in place.
They could be in the eastern area yet.
Yes, but if our flippers are intended access to East Dark World.
I'm talking about East Light World, which we have not seen yet.
East Dark World with Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
If that was our intended access there, the lamp means that you couldn't go to Aghanim. Now, if our hammer is over there and our flippers are someplace we can easily access, that is a different story.
So we still have Saucer Hollow's Closet and all the front side of Eastern Palace yet to go for Light World checks. And the flippers could definitely be hiding in either of those locations. Alright, and JTB gonna go in and grab his flute off the library ledge.
Actually, yeah, I'm thinking this too hard. It is an absolute kill on Aga, because whether the flippers show up or not, you needed that lamp, so... And that was your only way to deny Dark World access to the east side is through Aga. So, yeah, Aga's dead.
There we go. Flippers throwing my logic mine for loop as we will go ahead and get our Hyrulean National Anthem up. And unleash geese upon us all.
And actually, Cyberchow and chat bringing up a good point here. We had a possibility that our flippers could have been in Ganon's Tower. But you know what else can be up there? Our hook shot. Maybe... No, not our fire rod. Maybe Bombos, though.
There's a lot of things that are out there that are potential. Alright, we'll get our first Meyer check from JTB. I didn't quite see that.
Neither did I. I'm going to maybe assume it was Bombos. I couldn't quite get a look at the pattern. I'm sure chat will catch it for us. Chat has never failed us before. Magic powder, though.
Interesting. That does put the magic bat into logic with the mirror.
Chat is saying it's ether. Well, maybe you're gonna get a better look here from Solski, who was checking Desert first, seeing a 20 rebound on the ledge.
And then heading back into the Misery Mire area. Did not see anything of note in Checkerboard Cave. And it looks like JTB is heading into Desert. And it looks like we do have a confirmation from our tracker of Bombos for Misery Mire.
Alright.
And we'll get our first check of the hint tile. Some arrows are above the pose. I think both of our runners have already checked that. Or at least one of them has.
Did they?
Somebody was in that area. Actually,
I know Solski was checking King's Tomb and Bonk Rock, but I don't think they were in a position to check Graveyard Ledge.
Well, regardless, that's one thing we don't have to worry about. Alright, and we have the right side of Desert Palace.
And actually, someone's bringing up a chat here. Lamp and Cane made it so flippers could not be in GT anyway, because those are required for getting through to Turtle Rock. amongst other dungeons, of course.
Absolutely. Now to continue further back into...
And this is an interesting development here as well. Note that both our runners are in desert, but this is a very different story.
Yeah,
Solski,
with it... Yeah.
With that sequence program lamp, Solski can actually just full clear her desert and not have to come back here ever again. JTB will have to leave it behind because they don't have a fire source to open the way to Lamola's. So a little bit of a time stay here because of Solski's sequence breaking.
Alright, and we'll go see what our Desert Hermit has been holding on to this whole time.
Ah, yes, Sagina.
Just a little bit of love. Right, and GTP heading toward the sanctuary. Where do they head next? Looks like he's going to start with King's Tomb.
Yeah.
And Solski heads back toward Landmolus.
So we've had logical access in the desert, but we don't have logical access to the boss right now. So if we find something that's progression-based here, we know that the flippers cannot be beyond it, or the lamp for that matter.
Definitely the sequence of that lamp opens up a lot of things. We're going to see where those flippers are hiding. It is interesting to note that neither of our runners have been over to Eastern Palace or Saucer Hollow's house.
Yeah, that's really interesting because those are a lot of free items that are in the early sphere logic. And they were pretty well equipped to take on at least the first half of the dungeon.
Fighting those boots and hike did spin us toward the direction of the Meyer Desert area.
Yeah.
And just 20 rupees.
So Aga is now truly dead, and we are seeing some vanilla strats here. Or at least dev intended strats, as far as I'm aware. Because after getting the boots, Sarasa tells you to go get the ice rod. Or at least hints at it, and there's our red boomerang, so... But yeah, Sarasa... Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's okay. That's the red boomerang, my preferred.
Yeah. But Sarasa does tell you to get the ice rod. It is optional to do so, but it does two-shot Lamolas, each one. So it's worth picking up in a casual playthrough, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an item that doesn't get much use outside of Trinex.
Yeah, it's really only required for Trinex.
It's one of the more interesting items in the game that we don't see often used in the vanilla play. Like the Cane of Samaria has so many uses, but comes in the game so late you really don't get to make full use of it.
Yes, and reminder folks, this is all dungeons, all pendants, all crystals, and both incarnates have to be defeated. As for why they picked it, well, first off, this was actually decided by a third party. This was a bot decision because this is game 3 between these two. But all dungeons kind of takes out a lot of the luck of the seed, really. Just going to certain areas.
And that's an interesting thing of note, that's that the Book of Medora is in Ganon's tower.
Alright, so that means that it can't be required for any of our crystals. So no progression in terms of entering Ganon's tower is there. However, could lead to our flippers being on the tablet. Could also lead to a hookshot being on the tablets as well.
The hookshot tablet does seem like the most, I guess, rude potential.
No. And yeah, the only way it can't be a book on a tablet, or the hookshot on a tablet, is if Lamola's, or not Lamola's, the Moldorm chest has the book. That is literally a 1 in 27. So fairly low odds, but yeah, like I was saying, all dungeons It really just makes it a more execution-focused seed, and that's what a lot of runners prefer.
And that's the heart container in the big chest of Swamp Palace. It'll save us a couple of frames as we pick up the big key. No guarantees we will need to make the dip into the basement quite yet of Tower of Hera, but we will see.
Nice.
So our runners are just a couple of rooms behind each other again.
Yeah, nice strike there from JTP, hitting one of the hard hat beetles and the switch in the same motion.
Interesting to note when you think about this, all that they are doing right now is currently out of the stream of logic that we know of, because we don't have the flippers, which lead it. Wait, never mind. We have the flute. I am silly.
Yes, we have the flute to allow us to get up here. Old man is asking himself, and JTP is ignoring the hint there. Ah, but I see why. Going to go around the long way and read it on the way back.
It has been interesting as we've gone further and further since the release of version 3, how the metagame of these hint tiles has come up. The boots are in hype gave, thanks.
That's a useless hint, as we know it. Because you needed the boots for the flute, and that's the only way you can get up to Hera right now.
Yeah, the boots hint, which is one of those guaranteed hints someone's out there, isn't always the most helpful. There was a race I was on where we picked up the boots in one of the rooms of Eastern Palace, and the very next room was the hint tile letting you know that it was there. And down goes Moldhorn quite easily for JTB. Some money and a crystal.
And it looks like we might have a second item in the basement. Actually, no, that was... Did we ever find the second item? No, we didn't. Let's come with some map from the second hint room.
Well, JTB is deciding to leave.
Doesn't have a fire source. Solski once again does.
Definitely looking like that sequence break is looking bigger and bigger by the moment, depending on what we find in the basement of Hera.
Now this is something, the hookshot, that is huge for Solski because not only is the sequence broken, it unlocks a lot more items.
Definitely makes it easy to lose track of where you might be in the logic with it when you gain so much from there. Interesting to note that we're almost 40 minutes in and neither of runners has been to see the Kakariko Village Elder.
Yeah. So something I found out here, if you want to set up this coffee break that Solski did, you don't need to throw any of the pots. You can just put the block, cast the block, and it appears just beyond the pot, and you can just release the magic, and it always hits. So you can really set up this room pretty fast.
And JTB visits the magic back to be cursed with $20. Money, the worst curse of all.
Alright, so something to keep the JT has to keep in the back of his mind if he paid attention. He has 3 heart pieces here. If he's setting up any sort of like death warp, which he obviously won't, and it's only 3 bombs at the basement. If he picks up a heart container when draining his health, and well, gets that heart piece, gonna ruin that little setup quite a bit. We're now finally seeing Eastern area, and starting with Sahasula's Closet.
Alright, and he's been holding on to us this entire time. The hook shot, the blue boomerang, and a half magic.
Great items all around.
He's been holding down on us. And choosing not to go to Eastern Palace while he's here, instead opting to head toward the east side of Death Mountain, which he just unlocked with that hook shot.
Yeah, Paradox Cave is wide open. Why not? It's a total of 8 items that are on east side of the Hera Mountains.
That's definitely gonna be a choice that's gonna help him catch up to where Solski is after that sequence break, as he's chosen to go into Skull Woods.
Yeah, JDB's already been in there.
And we know there isn't a whole lot of note.
Actually, it's a lot more than 8 items here because we have also the Super Bunny and the Hookshot caves to check because of the Titan's Mints. This is a huge amount of items that JTB is going to have access to.
It's
this
almost
could be...
quite literally raining items.
Yes, and this could also be our missing logic for the flippers. Our flippers could be here. And that puts everything we found thus far back on sequence. Alright, starting off, we find money and bombs. Yeah, small return on the investment.
Definitely can't complain on that one. Alright, we'll head into the 5 chest portion of the Paradox Cave.
Yeah, going up, down the stairs. I don't know. Paradox Cave is weird. Flippers, there it is! I called it!
Alright, as you work on summoning flippers, we'll see what else the Death Mountain is holding on to us. Likely head up toward the Spiral Cave, and then head into the Dark World.
He's not heading to Spiral Cave. He set up that portal there. He set up a portal there for a reason. He's going to Super Bunny next.
Ah, that makes sense. You hit the Super Bunny, you hit the Hookshot Cave, the Mirror, and the Spiral to finish it out.
So that means JTB will have a lamp and the Cadence of Mario waiting for him at the waterfall if he chooses to go over that way. There's our hammer! It's cape locked! Where's our cape now?
Well, well, well. There's a lot of places that Magic Cape could be hiding now.
Actually, not a lot. Half the dungeons are locked by that hammer alone.
We have not seen any of Eastern Palace yet. And it could choose to put itself in a Hammerlock dungeon, but not where the Hammerlock itself is.
And Ether is our medallion for Turtle Rock. Which means we could have Bombos in Ganon's Tower, locking in Mystery Mire.
Never mind.
Or it could be on the floating island.
It just definitely does not want us to have that GT set up at all.
Is that a commentator's curse or a commentator's blessing? I have to know. Chat, you decide.
Alright, not a whole lot so far in Hookshot Cave.
And there's Ether!
Boy, this seed is just giving, giving, and giving.
So at this point, we need the bow, the fire rod, the hammer, which we know where it is, and the cape.
We need that cape to get the hammer. Alright, well, Flink, where do you think that cape is hiding out for us?
Well, considering that it's locking the hammer, it can only be in a place before the hammer, and there's a lot of items afterwards. So it's a very low chance that it's actually in Swamp. It'd actually be pretty evil if it was in that first Swamp. There's our bow, though! Solski finding that at Catfish. It could be all the way in Piles of Darkness, probably. Now, it could be a forced double dip.
Definitely an interesting thought. I have to lean for the most evil place being in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, the single chest there. And it could be halfway through Ice Palace. It cannot be in Turtle Rock, though. That is an important distinction to make. It cannot be in Turtle Rock because Turtle Rock requires the hammer to get into it in the first place. Along with the medallion as well as the Cane of Samaria.
And our cape can also not be on the pedestal, unfortunately.
Yeah, Ice Palace kind of blocks that pretty hard.
And just bomb on the pyramid.
Now, with the Bombless medallion found, it does allow one item to be on the pedestal that we need. The Fire Rod. We could Bombless our way through Ice Palace.
That's about our only major crux leaving the pedestal alive for us tonight.
Yeah, so if you guys want a pedestal seat tonight, I hate to tell you, it's on life support. Or it might as well be.
And JTB checks our hobo, only to find nothing. Solski gonna pick up Sasrahal's loaded closet here.
And actually, the book is now useless. Because there's nothing that the book can lock that's optional. The
And
hammer,
JTB.
the cave locks the hammer, which is required, and we have both medallions. And you need the fire rod to enter GT in the first place. So yeah, the book is useless. There is nothing stopping GT from having anything of importance here.
Right, and JTB is gonna head up towards Zora.
So if you guys want a troll seed tonight, it has to be a ped seed. It cannot be a GT seed.
Unfortunate for chat, as this seed keeps on giving. Definitely feels better for our runners, though, heading in toward what feels like it could be a pretty fast seed.
And yeah, catfish is going to be a problem for JTB because when did JTB go and check the catfish?
That's definitely going to be a location that could potentially sit unchecked for a long time as we make sure we know about our Zelda 1 strategies.
And what someone is asking, what can be unped? In terms of our progression, only the fire rod. Nothing else is locked. We know where the hammer is. We know the cave can't be blocked behind. It can't be before any pedal. Can't be there because pendant dungeon require the hammer. And our cave is our bumper cave has our hammer.
And Solski making that dip into Palace of Darkness. Definitely feels better as he's holding onto the bow, as the only location he cannot check is Helmasaur himself.
Yeah. And does have the information of where it is, so this is a fairly lucrative dungeon as well with 5 chests. So Solski could feel that the cape is in here, and there is a good chance, it's good odds.
And Chet does bring up a good point that the pedestal could also be the mushroom or shovel leading us to the cave, or leading us to the fire rod, excuse me.
That's right, although we will not know what is on pedestal at all this seed, because our book is all the way in Gan's Tower. Ice Rod strats once again going for JTB.
Well, they're... Sorry, go ahead.
This time's a little different though, because JTB has half magic, so it can fire 16 shots instead of 8. A lot wider window to work with.
And just looking at where our pendants lie, it is possible for us to have to, or to be able to see that book before we check the pedestal.
That is true. But if it's an item that's required for if it's fire rod, it doesn't really matter. Because we'll need to get all the pendants done before we get all the crystals.
I'm just braining with all these items that this seed has given to us so early. It's throwing my mind for a loop. Or perhaps we should stop hypothesizing on how to make this seed root for the runners and just enjoy the work that they're putting in for us.
Yes, and we're actually going to see JTB with the Ballless Medallion in hand go into Misery Mire. This is not a Hammerlock dungeon. It is a pendant, though.
And with Arcana Samaria, it is completable.
Now, people are saying it's odd to clear desert. Well, that I called it. You know what's hilarious about that location, though? What's supposed to be there in vanilla?
Oh boy. Alright, so there's our hammer, and leaving not much else eluding us. The only main item hiding out of sight is the fire rod.
Yes.
And if we find that over here in Eastern or on the left in Misery Mire, we could find ourselves in a 50 to 55 minute no mode.
And we're gonna look through Eastern Palace here. This is a dungeon that Solski can complete, although we know it's in logic, but Solski does not. That is an important distinction that leads to making for here. So Solski will probably not be following whatever he finds here in Eastern Palace. You want me to call fire on first Twister Rock? I don't think it's there. I actually wanted to be on pedestal. I want this to be a little bit more of a enjoyable seed for you guys, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, definitely this seed has been giving us almost everything right away. A unique item is in Paradox Cave. We already know that was the flippers.
Yep. And that is the Saint card.
Interesting to see that item pulled. Always interesting to see where that item falls in a seed. And for those of you curious, we can tell that's the heart for Sanctuary is it's the only heart container that will give you a refill.
That's right. All the other heart containers are not programmed to have refills because the crystals do that for you anyway, as does the pendants.
Alright, and JTB making their way through Mire.
Yep, better go fight Vitreous. Not gonna be a somewhat easy fight, because they lack the cape as well as the bow.
But with Tempered Sword, it just ends up being a little bit slower.
Yeah, and actually, I expect a little bit of an NMG strategy, JTB knows it, doing spin attacks and damage boosting on the slime.
It's always nice to see those NMG strats coming through.
Yeah, I really should practice NMG sometime soon. I'm meaning to de-rust a little bit.
Should be something I should attempt, as I've only really played at the Randomizer, but it is a lot of fun. Alright, as we head, making our way back toward Vitreous and the Armos Knight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of these fights is going to go lightning fast, so blink and you'll miss it. Gee, I wonder which one it's going to be.
So you're telling me that Solski isn't going to be pulling out the boomerang strats for the Armos Knights?
Well, like I said, there's only two things Silvers don't kill in one shot. Vitreous and Ganon.
Alright, it looks like we are seeing those NMG strats with the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, you take far less damage from the slime than you do the eyeballs.
Alright, as JTB finishes poking the eyeball.
And you can see just how much health Vitreous has. Look how many slashes it took with Tempered Sword.
And picks up the compass and the first pendant of the game.
And Solski's wasting no time about to go get that hammer.
One cannot blame them at all.
So the odds are, once again, that it's a fairly low chance that Turtle Rock has our progression. I think we're going to have a Gomo Turtle Rock. But I'm still holding out that our Fire Rod is on pedestal.
And there's the hammer for Solski.
Yeah.
Has JTP looked at Bumper Ledge yet?
I don't think so, no. Solski, meanwhile, gonna take the hammer and go in all the way over to Hammer Pegs.
Oh, there also could be that Thieves Town big chest in the back of his mind. I don't remember how many items we pulled out of there. And as JTB has to do this the slow way.
Yeah, with the lamb, it's kind of slow. Could pay out, though.
As Solski does one of probably what I think is one of the more satisfying things in the randomizer, the hammer dash to the pegs.
Oh,
Only seeing a shield, which he does seem to leave behind.
Fire shield's okay. Come on. It's not...
Gotta save those frames.
I guess. They've already defeated Blind, so its main functionality is gone. In here, Misery Mire.
Nothing on the hint tile. As
I
Solski cursed to $20. Sorry.
And I was trying to read that message, I didn't quite see it, but we got a red potion in Misery Mire, so nothing there.
There was definitely something about pizza on that. Alright, JTB, where are you heading next? Are we seeing an AGA 1 play?
We might be. And at this point in time, it's good for JTB.
Interesting choice to do that now, but with the swords, they does get them out there.
Think about this for a second here. Where is the only portal that JTB currently has available?
That would be in the village.
And how far away from the village is Palace of Darkness?
All the way?
Yeah, so JTB's thinking, if I'm going to find a Heavy Hammer, I might as well have this portal so I have easier East Darkworld access, which is absolutely fine.
Absolutely, and as this is an all-dungeon seed that will be required to do this anyway, so may as well just get it out of the way.
Yeah. And nice dash there from Solski, getting right through.
Gotta love seeing those god pixels.
Yeah, it's partially knowing your position, partly luck as well. The enemies have to behave just right.
Definitely gonna be hoping that all those enemies just decide, yeah, we'll leave him alone this time.
Yeah. Fire Stake especially. And this is not a Thieves Town. This is actually a double dip in a Thieves Town, folks. Because reminder, we did not have the hammer here, so we did not get this last chest.
Alright, so what is it holding on to us? If it's our fire rod, okay, just 10 sticks. And he's gonna save and quit out.
The unique item is near Misery Mire. What did we find that was near Misery Mire?
Is it a coin? I forgot. There was something in the Mire shed.
Well, regardless, we've already picked it up, I think.
Definitely on JTB's side.
I think Solski as well. Oh yeah, powders in Mire Shed. That's right.
And that led us to just 20 rupees. And Solski heading up the Dark Mountain now.
And we're about to see the AGA 1 fight here, folks. So here's something I want to ask you guys. We have a seeded AGA 1 fight. So basically, both runners will have the same exact blue ball pattern. So what pattern do you think we're going to get today? Are we going to get a 0 pattern? Or are we going to get the infamous 15 balls? Which means it's 4-6 cycle.
I'm definitely going with 3-3-2-0. Let's get 8 blue balls in there.
Alright, well there's the flip for Solski. I'm gonna say it's only like 2. What were the vetoes? Good question. I joined as a last minute addition, so I don't know. Yeah, as far as Solski not leaving an item behind in Thieves Town, that was just a fine play because you don't want to get tripped up by forgetting one item location. And this saga has been kind of a pain. Alright, Solski now sees the Bombus Medallion. JTB is now on the pyramid. And we actually haven't seen the medallion here. Or the item here. It's just some bombs, though.
Because Solski did check that on his way up to Catfish.
Yeah. And it was a 7 blue ball pattern. You were close. Jeez. He was not nice today.
Interesting to note, JTB heading toward the Palace of Darkness has not gone up toward Catfish, where the bow is hiding.
Well, we know that there is a small key available at the start, so JTB will not be bow locked out of getting to the hammer chest, I don't think.
I don't remember offhand where the big key was hiding.
Neither do I, actually. And apparently...
If that fell on the bow lock side, this feels kind of bad for JTB unless he's holding onto a potion.
I believe... Yeah, no, JTB's fine. He picked up a red potion in Misery Mire, so he can do the potion glitch if he needs to. But Act the Poker coming into chat and letting us know that the vetoes were randomized swords and retro.
Interesting to veto randomized swords. I suppose that levels out the playing field, as chat mentioned.
Yeah, so either you guarantee get a sword or you guarantee know that you're not getting a sword at all. Makes sense to me. As far as retro goes, I can kind of see why people don't like retro. It's sort of like Key Sanity Light. And the reveal might be a little bit more annoying to deal with. Looking for this one of the swords in the Any Caves.
And it looks like we are getting a correction of Key Sanity and randomized being the vetoes.
Oh.
And one cannot blame someone for vetoing Key Sanity if you just do not want to deal with all those extra ice rods.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't blame him either. I will say at least the Key Sanity is a very fun motive, but it can break your brain sometimes where you don't have a good knowledge.
Alright, and so here we are an hour into this seed. Let's look at our inventories. The only thing that we are really missing to finish the game is the fire rod. JTB missing the bow, which we know is in Catfish.
Yeah, this was really just one item away for Solski. And realistically, it can be anywhere. Actually, ooh. You know what? I'm going to change my opinion from earlier. I think our bow is in Turtle Rock. Or our fire rod, rather, sorry. And I don't think it's on the first chest. I think it's down in Laser Bridge. If the key logic is just right, it can go down that deep.
You, sir, are evil.
It's very unlikely to happen, but if it does, I will be amazed that I called that.
And Solski with his silver is making quick work on the mimics and heading back toward King Helmasaur.
Now, JTB does have 2 keys here, and I think did do the potion glitch. Yeah, they did do the potion glitch.
Actually, they should have no problems finding their cape, so they can head to Hammer Pegs, or excuse me, to the Bumper Cave, but they have not seen that location yet.
So, yeah, for those who are just now tuning in here, our cape, it blocks the hammer, but our cape is in the vanilla hammer chest, so they decided to play a little bit of a joke here with us. You wanted this hammer? Too bad. Have some fashion instead.
How about we call that artificial vanilla hammer? Or imitation.
Alright, it is now time for the Helmazar King.
17 bonks for the hammer, and a single silver arrow will send him on Solski his crystal.
Yeah, if Solski wants to save the ammunition, because Helmazar King can be quite speedy when the mask is removed, 4 slashes instead. And Diz going for the slashes, and Giz pulling out the mirror. I like that quote too. The hammer was shredded from the vanilla location, so it's vanilla extract.
Alright, and that's Thalford in chat. You've won tonight. Thank you so much.
Alright, 5 crystal collected. That's one of our 5-6. The other one is actually in our possession, so if we wanted to, we could go get the 4th sword at Pyramid Fairy. I doubt we're going to, but it is a possibility.
And there's JTB picking up their cape.
And Solski did not want to flute to Misery Mire. Choosing what?
To flute to Misery Mire.
What?
Okay. We'll roll with it.
Was he like semi-soft ledge or something?
Oh, the spooky action glitch. He's trying to set up the spooky action glitch.
I don't know the setup, so someone has to explain that to me. And we're seeing an ice spell checked, and we see the fire rod locked item, or the fire locked items there.
We will not be. It looks like we will not be heading toward the. Oh, actually, we already did. That feels pretty bad for JTB. Solski will likely check those locations as well. And JTB making quick work of the pen gators. Yeah, except hit boxes. Just picking up the compass there, and we'll head deeper into Ice Palace as Solski makes his way through Misery Mire to find nothing except for the pendant.
Now, Solski may have a commanding lead right now, but I have seen races decided by one item before.
And wouldn't you know, there's only one item we're left looking for.
That's correct.
And Solski tries the hover for us.
Alright. So your good power seems to be set in the arrow. That is a Zelda 1 hit. Not useful to us here in Zelda 3.
Always interesting to see those hovers there. I have seen it in a daily race. Solski attempt to hover his way to Trine X.
That crazy man. I think it was it was a daily race yesterday that someone just found the route throughout the seed. I think it was actually Solski. I'm not too sure. I was meaning to watch that one back actually.
And we will bumbles our 2 Freezors here and see what the chest holds. As Solski gets to play the boring cutscene. Boring as we don't even actually get to watch the cutscene.
So, Spike Cave has been checked. What else have we not seen? We actually haven't seen Mimic Cave, which does count as an overworld location. Oh, it's something about sweet corn on pizza.
What are we, in Korea?
You found the fire rod! It's an ice palace!
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
That was part of the fun, a hot find there.
Alright, in 1 hour and 9 minutes in, we are in no mode.
Yeah, and Pet is now dead.
As are Ganon's Tower troll items.
So Solski needs to go to Ice Palace. JTV needs to go to Catfish. One is more likely than the other. But if Solski doesn't go to Ice quickly, and JTV beelines to Catfish and gets the hammer as well, this could be in JTV's favor.
JTV does have a bit of ground to make up on the dungeon side. He still has to finish up Eastern Palace and the Palace of Darkness. And he still has to find out where that the Cape is hiding his hammer. And it looks like he's going to head toward the back of Skull Woods.
And Solski realized he didn't have the fire rod, so setting up the spooky action glitch was pointless. I think you need to use fire rod for that. Someone is asking what Nomo means. It basically means that we, as the viewers, know where everything is that is needed to finish the seed. We call Gomo when one of the runners has collected everything. In this case, Solski needs the fire rod, JTV needs to find the bow and the hammer.
Alright, and there's quick work of Vitreous for Solski with those silver arrows, picking up his red pendant. Hopefully he will find his way toward Ice Palace, but we'll see where he chooses to go next.
And JTV is going to go and see what the moth has. And yeah, I don't expect Solski to do ice over TR. Or, to do TR over ice. Getting my words mixed up. Common thing with me. So yeah, overall, fairly tame seed.
Absolutely. It looks like Solski may be making their way towards Swamp Palace first. Not a bad play, as he will definitely have to do it.
Yeah, all dungeons are required in this. And for anyone who might be tuning in and don't know what all dungeons is, it is a secondary goal you can have instead of defeat Ganon, in which you're required to defeat all of the crystal dungeons as normal, but also all the pendant dungeons and both incarnations of Aghanim. It would be called all boss.
JTB makes quick mark of them off. The boss.
And in case you're wondering, why isn't it called all bosses then? You don't have to fight Ice Armos if the big key's not behind them. And he has the hint! He knows he's in go mode! He's
gonna go straight for it! Or decide, you know what, I should probably just finish this anyway, but now I know I don't have to go to the left side.
I think there's a bit of muscle memory there, forgetting that this is all dungeons. Yep, that seals JTV's fate. Solski is in go mode through knowledge, not by items. He knows that the ice rod is somewhere in Ice Palace. He's gonna clear this dungeon as fast as possible.
There's definitely all execution ahead from here for Solski. Solski still has to finish this Swamp Palace, pick up his Ice Rod in Ice Palace, finish that out, do Skull Woods, Turtle Rock, Aga 1, and Ganon's Tower as JTV gets that bow.
But JTV needs to go to Bumper Cave to get the hammer. JTV's not quite there yet.
Alright, they're fluting away from that area. Where are they going next?
Fluting to 5. Oh no! They think the hammer's in Eastern. It's a valid play, but it's not the right one to make. We know the hammer's at Bumper Cave.
It's just unfortunate to see that key item hidden in such a location that is out of the beaten path.
Yes. All right, so this is literally Solski's race lose, I feel.
It definitely doesn't seem like there's much that could bring JTP back into contention, but there's still a lot of execution up ahead.
I mean, 15 hearts blue mail. If you're any veteran of NMG, and look at this, these boot stashes here.
And we gotta love seeing those poke strats on Argus.
Yeah, doing some dash strats is what that was. And we're probably gonna see Ice spin. No, just a silver arrow.
As she gives him one while he slowly waits for them to approach, and down goes Argus.
Alright, Solski has the green pendant, but knows that the fire rod is in Ice Palace somewhere. He just has to go claim his prize, and will be finishing this race rather shortly.
Alright, as we start to head toward as we go through some locations that both runners are meant to, please give these guys a follow. They're putting themselves out there for your entertainment. So the least thing you can do is show them a little bit of love.
Bot, are you there? You didn't post the links.
Seems that Nightbot has not decided to work tonight.
No, that's the links are held by Speed Gaming Bot. There they are.
I guess it just doesn't like me tonight.
So that bomb was required and was indeed double required. I want to add.
Alright, and Solski's gonna make his way through Ice Palace looking for that fire rod.
We know it is at the iced tea room at the very bottom of the dungeon.
And he knows it's in here somewhere after he picked up that hint saying that the fire rod is here via the front side of Swamp Palace. As JTB is going to make his way back to the Armos Knights with the silver arrows, it should not give him any issues. In fact, we may not even realize it happened. Alright, look at the clock. We'll see how quick this goes. That looked to be about 5 seconds.
Yeah. The Armos Knights don't exactly hold up to the silver arrows. It's metal against stone, really, if you want to think about it that way.
The Armos Knights are definitely one of the more interesting boss enemies in the game, just because of the things how they take damage. The higher your sword is, the less damage they take, and they also can be killed with the blue boomerang. So that takes 48 hits per Armos Knight.
Hey, whatever works.
Or 3 arrows or a single silver.
So yeah, JTB needs to find that hammer. Solski getting a very nice strike there with the ping gators.
Now they've fluted to 3, and it looks like they're heading for the Dark World portal. Will they go that direction? One can only hope so.
Yeah. The only location left is, I think, Bumper Cave for JTB, so this will be go mode for them.
I don't think they've checked the Graveyard Ledge.
We have a hint for that. Something was above the post, remember?
Oh, that's right. So he's got to be heading toward Bumper Cave now, or no.
No.
Please, it's the other way.
Where is JTB going?
Do you think he got Stumpy?
First chest swamp.
Oh, that's just rude. But if you're feeling behind, it may be a gamble you take.
We know it's the wrong gamble to take, though.
One cannot blame them for making the call. And Solski is heading down toward the iced tea room and will find his fire rod shortly. Actually, no, toward the vanilla Bicky location.
Yeah, he's going to H room first.
I forgot how to Ice Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like JTV might have mismarked his map or something. Which is unfortunate, but it does happen. It is a mistake some people make.
At the end of the day, these are human runners, and they have been doing a lot of randomizer to practice for this tournament. It's easy to have things swing around, and well, he already knows about that that fire rod.
Yes, but now JT knows that Solski would have most likely checked that hint. So that just puts a little bit of fear in JTV's heart right now, I feel. He knows he needs to find this hammer here. Man, we don't actually know it's here. It is just the map.
The map. And Solski can open up the big chest of Ice Palace, finding his map. Alright, and it looks like he's going to backtrack up his way to head toward the iced tea room and pick up his fire rod for Solski.
Yeah. And, yeah, so there is Spoiler Rock community races that happen every week, every Sunday night, I think, on IRC. But as a general rule of thumb, you're not allowed to look at what your opponents are doing because, well, you're gaining information that isn't from the game itself, and that can be considered cheating.
Alright, and with that fire rod pickup at 1 hour and 22 minutes, Solski is officially in go mode. And
just as a reminder, folks, that, well, why don't they check right now? We are on a 20-minute delay between these runners, so these runners have already most likely even finished by now. I don't have IRC open at all, so I'm not even going to bother checking regardless. I don't want to be spoiled to the conclusion of this race.
It's definitely an exciting one, despite that one location. It looks like JTB did orphan the basement of Hera here earlier, and will be disappointed when they finish their coffee break.
Yeah, this was, of course, one of those locations that was isolated to JTB because they didn't have the lamp.
And Solski is setting up for his coal stair fight, pushing him toward the corner, and they just get away thanks to one of those ice blocks.
And someone is asking why are we on a 20-minute delay? It's basically so that someone can. It's basically an anti-stream sniping measure.
Someday words will come to you.
Yes.
Alright, Solski picking up his ice pendant. Has his fire rod in hand, so all he has to do is clear a few dungeons. He has Skull Woods and Turtle Rock, Ganon's Tower, and Castle Tower left to go before he face Ganon. And it's interesting to note that we do have access to the pedestal, but we will not see it now.
Nope.
Rest in peace, pedestal, we hardly knew ye.
So as JTV is in the area, Solski is also heading to Skullwoods.
Interesting that JTB is heading up there, unless they left a chest behind in Skull Woods. Or think they did.
Big chest. No big key, though.
Could it be that they're finally going to head over to the bumper cave?
Yes. Unfortunately, JTB hits last location, so this is solidly in Solski's position. He's going to be really hard-pressed to throw this one away at this point.
And as JTB finally catches sight of the hammer and realizes that they probably feel pretty behind at this point. As we cape past the bumper and head through the door. And there's the hammer for JTB.
Yep, now JTB's in go mode at 125.30.
However, they do have a lot more things to clear through as Solski heads toward the moth fight.
Yeah, Solski has a 2 dungeon lead right now.
Alright, after completing the moth, it leaves Solski with Skullwoods, Turtle Rock, Ganon's Tower, and Aga 1.
Yes, and this will be a very clean route for Solski here. Just has to do is TR, GT, Aga 1, Ganon. So sadly, we didn't get the route I wanted at the very end. I wanted this to be an early GT call, or an early Aga call, but I did get my wish somewhat from JTV, but at the same time, it wasn't required.
Yep, absolutely. And there is Solski floating his way up the mountain to head into Turtle Rock. Alright, as we execute our way through the dungeons, JTB making quick work of that a nice NMG strat on those Stalfos Knights.
Yeah, it looks like our tracker's not updating, but it can be fickle at times. Give it some time, folks. We'll get it updated for you in a moment.
Alright, Solski lifting up the rock and doing our little hammer puzzle.
Oh, having a little bit of trouble there, hitting it with super speed if enabled.
Yeah, that spin speed did send him for a bit of a loop. And we will shock the turtle away and head into Turtle Rock. And this will be a relatively quick Turtle Rock, depending on big key placement, unless it decides to put it in its vanilla location.
Yeah. And I was worried that the Fyro was down deep in here, but the sea doesn't want me to have any fun tonight, apparently. It's fine.
Giving all the fun to our runners and not much to chat. Unless you missed a location that sent you a bit behind.
Well, that killed it right there anyway. There was a map in the first chest. You needed that to be a small key for the fire rod to be on Laser Bridge.
Good to know.
And you needed a small key to be at Chain Chomps, and you needed the big key to be vanilla. That is the specific key logic. Very unlikely to happen.
I'm glad that you have a better understanding of key logic than I do.
I don't have the perfect analysis as others, but I do what I can.
And JTB putting off a pretty clean cold stare fight. And picking up his blue pendant.
And actually, I just now noticed, this dungeon was also Samaria locked. That, Ice Palace.
Such are the wonders of key logic.
Yeah.
Alright, and JTB flutes away back toward the house. I'm imagining that he's going to go ahead and go back in the swamp and finish that one next. As Solski makes his way through the chain shop room, getting that nice hammer kick. Or the block kick.
Someone is asking if I'm drunk. No, I just slur my words a lot, and also I'm a little bit parched. I should probably get a drink of water sometime soon.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming in the last minute to help me out, regardless of talking situations. I seem to forget how to words as myself. All in all, we're just here to have a little bit of fun, enjoy this randomizer race, and apparently meme ourselves the entire way. I, for one, are definitely a member of Team Stay Hydrated. As there's all the hydration here for JTB as he swims his way through Swamp Palace.
Meanwhile, Solski is going all the way through Turtle Rock here.
Still looking for our big key.
No, half of it already.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, big key must have been in the turbo roller room.
I was too busy forgetting how to words.
So, something I want to mention here real quick, because we're gonna have very little time. As even more so now that we found the second small key, so we can skip Laser Bridge. This is our 7th crystal, and Ganon's Tower is right next door. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain something to you folks real quick.
Oh, please tell us what are we gonna do after we finish this dungeon?
We're gonna play a game. So,
Oh, a game?
Yes, we do. So, folks, we have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which has the big key. Hold your guesses until we get the bot active, so we can catch you. But when we do get the game active, give us a number and tell us what chest you think the Ganon's Tower big key is in. And if you're a sub or a supporter of the channel, be it through, well, subscription or 250 bits or more, you're able to be caught by our bot so we can put you on a leaderboard.
And that, of course, counts for any of the 6 speed gaming channels. But please hold your guesses until after we have completed the Trinex fight.
Yes.
I will make sure you know when it goes live.
Yes. We'll be starting it on our end when we see the crystal catch. And you want to be ready on those guesses, folks, because you have maybe about 30 seconds between Ganon's Turtle Rock's clear and Ganon's Tower entering. So get your guesses primed and ready.
And Solski making quick work of Trinex.
Yeah, very clean Trinex. Oh, but that's bad.
Not gonna quite get the setup with him being slightly off the center of the room.
Yeah, and a little bit closer to the floor as well. Yeah, he missed the double spin.
But that is a quick, clean, and easy Trinex fight for Solski. That's his 7th crystal, and we are headed for Ganon's Tower.
Yep. Along with a big stack of money. Alright, there's the crystal catch for us. And there's the game, and there's the guesses flying.
Look at all those numbers. So while we have a quick second, Wolflink, where do you think our key is hiding tonight?
We got a pretty straightforward seed. I think we need one curveball at the end. I'm going to say it's a late key. I'm going to say maybe chest number 16.
I typically lean towards 17, but with how easy the seed has been, part of me wants to say, let's see Tile Room tonight.
Oh, go for the full troll. I like it. And perfect last phase of that Trinex fight. It was clean, but you can get 2 spins in a slash and kill Trinex before he even touches the corner.
All right, and last chance. Here we come in.
Yeah, we'll give you. I was gonna say give him a couple more seconds until we see him like go downstairs, but oh well. All right, first 2 chests.
My restream seemed to have locked up for a moment there.
20 rupees and a small key, and we are going left.
And it looks like Bob will still be with us if we get to go that far into the dungeon.
Yep, Bob's gonna get to live.
Alright, and we're gonna head into the Stalfos room. As JTB is still making their way through the Palace of Darkness.
4 is another small key. 5 is our map. Chest 6 and 7 coming up here.
5 rupees.
And
50.
All right, chest 8 will be the map. Room chest. Hopefully no one can get confused by me stopping myself there briefly.
And what do we got here? Just a big 20.
So, 8 chests down. Chest number 9 is going to come up in the fire snake room. And then 10, 11... No.
Excellent NMG strats from Solski here.
Okay, yeah, it is 10, 11, 12, 13.
Alright, the rando room is coming up next. Well, after we get to the fire snakes.
Yeah, it's actually possible to bonk on the back wall, but it's a little bit faster to hook shot.
I definitely go for the bonk for swag myself.
Alright, chest number 9 was the small key, so it's now time for 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Heading into the randomizer room is such dub so as our randomizer being the only reason you would ever access this room. It's a refill room, but most people had never even known this exists.
Yeah, it only has a couple pairs of arrows, and as well as that.
Heart, heart, money, money!
It's
big
right
money, big love! I love it!
Is it too late to change my guess, actually? Because, actually no, 14, 15, 16. I mean, 14 is going to be Bob, and 15, 16, and 17. That puts it behind Ice Armos in this route, unless they goes left, right side next.
I don't see that routing coming on, as the Helmasaurm is quickly dispatched by JTB on the left side.
Alright, chest number 14. It's Bob's chest. There's Bob.
Hi, Bob. Bye, Bob.
Hi, Bob again, and small key in chest number 14. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the Ice Armos here. This has turned into an all-bosses seed. Yes, I approve of this.
And pay attention, folks, as we're not going to see this for very long.
Yeah. Made a little bit harder by the ice physics, but that's about it.
Who loves ice physics?
15. Shovel. 16. Arrows. And
Ah!
Oh, it's right side. The drip, the
Darn
dream.
it.
Rip the dream.
However, that tile room still out there.
Yes, the tile room is still out there, but I wanted this to be an all-bosses seed. You didn't have to fight the Ice Armos today.
And we're going to go ahead and go straight past them.
Yeah, we're skipping tile room because you don't want to do tile room. That's usually saved for chest number 22, the last one. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 coming up.
All right, as we make our way through the Gibdo room here's our next checks. There it is.
So there you goes, folks. I believe that was chest number 18. And we'll never know if the book was in Compass Room. Hopefully we'll find it on the way up. Maybe Solski would be nice and check the Molder chest for us.
All right, and we've got our winner. A big congratulations to Annie Karakulin. I hope I got that right.
Sounds right to me. Let's go ahead and save the results, shall we?
Seems like a good idea to me. And that'll put them on the leaderboard.
Yeah, unfortunately, not up there just yet. There's a lot of names up there, though.
There's a lot of races in this tournament. 15 for each runner in each group. So there is still a lot of chances to find your way on that leaderboard, but in order to do so, you need to sub to one of the 6 speed gaming channels or make a donation of at least 250 bits.
And not have a big key standing with the Ganastera big key early. That too. Having the big key kind of messes with the results a little bit.
I did get to call it Key Sanity Race, where we did get to play the guessing game.
Yes, but it's very unlikely, considering...
The odds are definitely stacked against us. Solski makes his way up the gauntlet, not having much trouble at all.
Yeah, so Solski just has to clear Ganon's Tower and Aga Tower JTB still has the rest of Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower to do. Could catch up here if Solski makes a significant mistake, but I highly doubt at this point. Look at that. Beautiful Lamola 2 kill with the silver arrows.
One cannot discount JTB's efforts in this race. All of their mechanics have been spot on. It's just, it could be an unfortunate mistake of misclicking that location, just leading to the end of this race.
And yes, very beautifully executed there for Solski as well. Those Wizard Runes are once again one of those instances of easy in concept, difficult to execute. Although not as much as Blind. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's okay. And it's definitely a satisfying feeling of getting that quick kill off. Right, and JTB heads further back into Turtle Rock, gonna go dip for some refills on these anti-fairies. Gets all 4.
And there was a key in the Hope Room, folks, but Solski decided to go left first instead. It is a choice. Alright, so Solski's gonna get a quick heal here. Not going to show us what is in the chest there before Moldorm.
But it is going to take the magic refill, and we'll go and get smacked away by Moldorm.
Moldar's not appreciative of you right now. Sit down for a few seconds. You can afford it.
Get that out of here.
Moldorm's like, oh, you're trying to go fast? Take a break. You're going too fast.
And then he goes back in and shows him a little bit of peace of mind. Thinks about the hover, but decides against it.
And no checking Moldor's chest. Sad.
So somewhere in those last few chests, we would have found that Book of Medora, but we'll never know.
Well, we did find, though, was the mushroom over on JTB's end.
Alright, and Solski is heading toward Aga 2.
Yep, geometry right here.
See how well it cooperates.
It's a geometry right here, but the same amount of health, 6 shots, and the clones shoot orange shots guaranteed, so this fight is a little bit easier.
It only gets 1 there, 3 left to get.
Ooh, unfortunately not a good sequence of shots there.
Gets 2 there.
So, doesn't really matter here. The clones are stacked on top of each other. Doesn't matter. Solski has defeated Aga 2 and has opened the way to Ganon, but Aga 1 must fall before Ganon is vulnerable in Phase 4. That is what all dungeons means.
Last thing you want to do is get down there and have Ganon call you out on it.
And meanwhile, we see JTB about to go fight Trinex.
I doubt it'll give him much trouble.
A bonk and a mirror away, and Solski is right in front of the Aga 1 gate. And what's really nice here is that Solski will get a full heal from the Aga 1 fight and be put right back in front of the hole.
And JTB putting on an absolute Trinex clinic here in the beginning. Should set up for the easy spin right away.
And that is the cleanest Trinex you will ever have. Well, maybe if you did a 0 cycle, it would be cleaner, but details.
I don't know if you really get to make that decision whether it's 0 cycle or not.
You need the gold sword for it. It's the only way you can prevent the heads from popping up.
And we do have the butter sword, however, we do know where it is, but neither of our runners decided to take that big bomb.
Yes, something sharp was that Pyramid Fairy. Or, to be more specific to the hint, something sharp required a big red bomb, along with some arrows. So, if Solski ran out of arrows for some reason, can refill the quiver if he wanted to, with the bomb.
Alright, and JTB is heading into Ganon's Tower. Will they go and commit to the right side to find their big key, or will they go for the standard right to left side routing?
If they go right, it'll save them a little bit of time. But I don't think it will be enough.
No, it would have to take a few falls at this point for Solski to lose pace this. He is starting right side. Definitely gonna bring him closer, which just goes to show you how much execution can pull you back into a race. But we're going left.
Yeah. Overroom is a pretty standard play to start with.
One would not blame JTB for committing to the right side, it's gambling on it being their feeling that I would imagine they'd had to have felt behind.
Alright, now it's time for the Aga 1 fight. We've seen this before from JTB. It is 7 blue balls as we know it.
Barring somehow a death.
And with blue mail, 14 hearts, 16 max, it's very unlikely Solski dies here. Even has half magic and the cape to back him up if he absolutely needs it, and he will get a full refill after defeating Aga 1.
And we'll just have to wait through this very long Aga fight from Solski as he seems to be growing impatient with it. And JTB deciding to head back toward the right side.
Good knowledge, apparently.
So this will lead them to their big key just a little bit faster.
And someone is saying this is Dark Edition. I will clarify this. This is not Dark Edition, in fact. With Dark Edition, you start with Southwest Room and then go full right. In this case, it was Hope Room first, so this is mainly... So this is a very different variation. Oh, there's our book! Right next to the big key. At least we figured out where that was.
Yeah, keeps our knowledge, and that's, and JTB will be heading toward the gauntlet. As Solski still waits his way through this very painfully slow Aga 1 fight. And finally, down goes Aga 1, and we can head toward the big pig himself.
It is now time to fight the pig. Tempered sword, silver arrows in hand. 12 slashes of phase to get us started here. Here, as we knock down the big pig's elf and knock his trident out of his hands. When he loses his trident, he'll start stomping the ground and spinning fire bats at the cycles. We want to hit him 1 slash as he stops teleporting. The teleports are seated, and we're getting some dash strats here, so this first 2 phases are going down really fast.
Oh, absolutely. JTB putting on a Ganon clinic for us tonight.
Oh, but the trident's still in hand, so this is a 2 cycle on the fire bat phase.
And shows his displeasure by giving him a silver arrow.
Well, speaking of those silver arrows, those will come into play in phase 4, the darkness technique. You'll have to keep the lights on, and stun Ganon with the sword. After which 4 silver arrows will end Ganon's life. Should Solski somehow run out of silver arrows, which would be miraculous at this point, it'll be 3 spin attacks per missed silver arrow. Those are what we call the silverless strategy.
As JTB is setting up a very clean land mode 2 in the gauntlet. And out goes the light, and JTB takes a fall. Did he walk?
Look at his health. I think he might have actually got telefragged. I'm not sure.
I'm not quite sure what just happened.
He's missing 3 hearts, which is, I think, up to par with Ganon's contact damage.
But he had been on that 3 hearts for quite a while. We can't really know what happened as Ganon throws a CDI quote at us. On the bright side, we do know what Ganon is up to.
Yeah, he just might have moved too far. Now, here's the thing. Ganon is also seeded, so now Solski is going to get a different set of teleports in phase 3 than he would have got than JTB will now.
That is an interesting development in all of this. But does make cleaner work of the fight the second time.
Yeah. And these silvers are a little bit nicer. He's stopping almost immediately. 3 in a row, even. No fake outs? No fake outs in the second phase. That's very generous of Ganon.
And absolutely, Ganon, we did find the silver arrows in the light world very early on. As the lights go out, he relights them with this fire rod.
And it is 12 spin in total because it'll be 24 slashes with tempered, but the silvers
tries to go for the double setup, but misses that first shot. Ugh.
Misses the fire rod shot there.
Just not... It's
but catches Ganon.
Small things. And that is the final arrow into the Big Pig. As the fanfare plays, the bridge descends, Solski is poised to become the winner of this race.
Get your G's in the chat for Solski, who is finished with an official time of... what was the official time? I don't have IRC open.
Solski has finished the race in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 55 seconds. GG's
to him. JT will not be far behind.
And ho hey, it's you, Solski. GG.
Yeah, GG's as well. He's not here yet, though.
Yeah, just gonna give that praise to that nice little end quote.
So in the meantime, here we are in an Agate 2 fight. Same pattern like we said. So Solski will go 2-1 against his group stage matches with JTB. Puts him in a fairly good position overall between JTB, but remember, it's a round robin setup here. Solski needs to be the top 2 of the group in order to move on to our bracket stages. So we'll have to see how he fares against his other opponents going forward. And we are actually going to be joined by Solski here in just a little bit. Matter of fact, he's right here right now. GG Solski, what a race. That fire rod hint coming in clutch for you.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely a great hint.
So, at the time, it was Fire Rod versus Bow and Hammer, and JTB could have maybe made this race a very close one. We see JTB on Ganon right now, but the thing is, JTB did not find the hammer until very late. I think it was Hammer Go mode for him.
That's unfortunate.
Alright, so Solski, I guess I'll ask general thoughts of the seed as JTP puts the final hurt on Ganon?
Seed was great for me. Minus the Fire Rod, it was almost a god route, just because I think what really made it was the sequence break to get the Lamping Cane. And yes. I had a feeling that was like really late in the chain, so I aggressively pushed for dungeons that could have leveraged that, so that's why I went to Desert first. Was able to
oh no, JTB takes a death. But at least we'll have that very, very nice Ganon 3 pattern.
Alright, so I guess as we look at Ganon's fights that don't happen quite right, what happened to you on that Ganon fight, Solski?
I'm not sure actually, because my D-pad felt like awkward after that. Like, I don't know if you guys kind of caught some weird juking on my side.
Yeah,
on the other phase, like on the other phase 4, like I was having like really weird inputs. I was like, what is happening? Don't fail now. But we got it under control, which was good.
Could it be your control? I think I know what happened.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'd have to take it apart and find out.
It could have been just wear and tear. Could have worn out.
An interesting time for it to choose to wear out on you. I'm not sure if JTB will be joining us after they complete their fight, but how's it going?
So I want to ask you something real quick. You got the hint for ice, and then you immediately left the swamp briefly.
I mean, that's like forgetting it's all dungeons temporarily, and then you're like, oh wait, I gotta do this. So that's why I hopped right back in. So I'm like, it doesn't make sense to lose the mirror time and then you go to ice. So I kind of clued in really quick.
Well, it was good of you to remember that one. It would hate to have that come back on you. As JTP puts the final arrow into Ganon.
Yes. Get your GG's in the chat now for JTB. What a race this was between you two. It could have gone either way, and You did get a hint about the book, by the way. We did actually find it. You want to know where it was?
Sure.
Right next to the big key chest. One chest up. And there's JTB crossing the finish line. What is the official time there, Bungie?
JTB has finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 59 seconds. GG's to JTB.
And both of you, and both of our runners, really. What an excellent race for us.
Like, that was good competition from JTB. The whole series, honestly. Like, first 6 seed, he did not play like this. He was almost dominant, and he almost, like, caught right up with the gain and fall included on my end, so... Then he killed me on like in game 2. So, but yeah.
No, he was.
A tough opponent.
Yeah, he was definitely the execution was definitely high on both sides of this restream.
Yeah, and we can see the bot was very kind to you today, giving you a very standard seed. No pun intended.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing to see was was finding the Titans, and I'm like, okay, I want to go to Dark World, and I was like, no, keep checking, and then all of a sudden I got the mirror. I was like, now I go to Dark World. That was one of the fun parts for me.
Yeah, I was definitely going to ask about how you felt with going through those early checks, only to find just about everything you need.
It's pretty smooth. Like it's just makes for a faster seed, especially particularly for all dungeons. To get those early portions out of the way in actually an effective manner. And then to find boots too on top was just like the icing on the cake. I was like, okay, this is my seed. Let's go.
And we see that pedestal is a broken heart. You never did find the book before.
And... Go ahead.
Yeah, that was not in play. We did find the mushroom though. That was in the big chest of Uraragin. Okay, speaking of big chests, that was... I have to ask you, what was your reaction to the cape after knowing the hammer was on Bumper Cave?
Immediately thought I won. I'll be honest. just because I felt like I got rid except for the fire rod. Like everything was so smooth, and I was like, "There's no way." Because I still didn't find flips. And
so there wasn't.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So there wasn't any sort of reaction. Okay, Shovel would have led to red mail. But there wasn't any reaction to the fact that it was kind of sort of vanilla because it was just, instead of being directly there, it was just the item you needed to get to it.
Yeah, the definite best joke in chat was calling that vanilla extract.
Like, I mean, it was perfect for me because I found the bow, sequence breaking onto the right side, and then I knew where hammer was. So it's like, oh, that's just, like, that is absolutely perfect where it is because, I mean, just stay there. And then I knew, like, I had hookshot, and I knew, like, flippers were probably going to be up in the mountain, and sure enough, because I had a hint for Paradox Cave, too. I wasn't expecting both medallions, which was, like, just an absolute bonus, and then it was, like, one item from go. I'm like, great, I have 3 pendant dungeons, which ones do I do? So...
Yeah, we were worried that was pedestal for a time, because that was literally the only option left for pedestal.
Yeah, I thought it could have been, but there was, like, what, 2, 6... 3, so 11 checks out of that, plus a couple that I didn't do in Spike Cave and Hobo. Yeah. So I wasn't too worried about pedestal.
Yep, and taking a peek in our IRC chat, it appears that JTB has decided to decline the interview tonight, but if you're out there listening, definitely GG to you.
Yes. And GG to you as well, Solski. Any final thoughts on the seed before we wrap up?
Just in overall sense, I'm relieved I'm now back even 3-3 in the group of death of all groups of death. Like, seriously, this group is, like, so nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of tough competition. Looking forward, that puts you at 3-3. How do you feel going forward in the rest of the rest of your group?
Relieved. Again, just because I'm remaining competitive in the group, so... I've talked to a couple people in the group too, and I'm just like, yeah, this is probably the strongest group in the group stage, and it's gonna be like really, really tight to see who gets 1-2. So it's gonna be a wild ride. I mean, there's still another 9 races to go, so a lot of rando ahead of us.
All right, and which this is Group P for those of you asking. You can find it on the challenge page. Looking forward. What else do you have on your schedule coming up here soon?
I'm trying to set up the next series, so I've been kind of doing them a little bit and just focusing on one opponent at a time. And I want to save Lyra and Act for last, especially Act for last. I already told him I'm racing him in December if I have to, so
yeah,
I'll be figuring it out.
Giving it to you in chat tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping to figure things out in the next day or so for He's Just a Boy. He's gonna be next, and then go from there.
All right. Well, GG you, Solski, the winner of this race. GG as well to JTB, wherever they may be. Make sure to give both of our runners here a follow on Twitch. They put on an excellent race for us. Make sure to also give a follow to Long Road, who was our tracker for this race, and as well as my co-commentator, Bungie to the Tree. And while you're at it, we are up, of course, on Speed Gaming 3. Make sure to follow us on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 to stay tuned to not just Link to Fast Randomizer, but all of the various races going on as well. And if you want to see some more Link to Fast Randomizer, we are trying to get a few races on the Link to Fast Randomizer series of channels, so give those a follow as well. And if you're more comfortable listening to German, Spanish, or French commentators, we are offering commentary languages on Speed Gaming for those languages.
And taking a look at speedgaming.org/schedule, you will see a lot of Randomizer available for us tomorrow. Lots of fun to keep watching on this very exciting fall tournament. Wolflinks, any final thoughts?
I'm just glad I could pitch in and help you guys out. That's all that matters to me. Well, with that being said, folks, from all of us here at Link to Fast Randomizer, I, of course, have been Wolflink0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
And this is Bungie to the Tree. Good night, and good rando.